If you are looking for help to build a business, to build an income, especially a reoccurring income, this is the right place to be for you, especially if you're over 40, 50, even if you're 60, 70, or 80. People of all ages are building businesses from home, and you need that, especially in these crazy times. Hi, I'm Jerome in Boise, Idaho. I am a startup coach, and this last week I have had an epiphany. I've had just a flash of insight, even though I've been building businesses for years, and either on my own or with partners. And so all this has been really intuitive, but it just hit me just like a flash the other day. I was doing some remodeling in our house, working on our loft. And the flash that came to me was that all creativity, all clarity comes from the moment, begins from the moment you start, whatever it is. And I was working on our loft and I couldn't quite see how it would come together. Doing some shiplap and some trim and things like that. Couldn't quite see it. And I sat back and looked at it, couldn't quite figure out what to do. And I said, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna go ahead and tack up some shiplap and some trim and just start to sense it out. And that's what I did. And as soon as I did that, the ideas started pouring in. I knew what to do. I took it back down and I began to fulfill the vision I saw, even though it's a very small project. And the same thing happens when you start a business, the very same thing. Or if you start a movie, if you write a script, if you write a book, everything begins to become clear the moment you start doing, the moment you start creating, the moment you start to sit down and write, the moment you pick up that hammer to begin that remodel project, the clarity begins. Because you can build the most wonderful business plan in the world. You can think about the greatest movie in the world, but until you sit down and begin the script, you won't know how the characters evolve. You won't know how the situations change until you begin to get it out of your head and on paper. And the same is true for a business. Until you begin to actually do it, you won't know what you have. You won't know where to move forward. You won't know how. But the moment you sit down, what happens is, the moment you sit down to begin to build it, to create it, you realize, oh, I got to learn this. I got to do that. I got to move here. I got to call these people. I got to investigate and do more research here. All those things come flooding to you, into you, when you begin that process. The moment you begin the process, the clarity comes, the creativity comes. I promise you, I guarantee you. That's why Eisenhower said, hey, all the planning in the world won't do you any good. Because the moment you start the action, then everything begins to become even more clear. So the planning process is really critical. The plan itself is not, because that is going to change. So the planning is so important, and then the moment you begin the action, the clarity comes, the creativity comes, all these things come to you. I had a very famous line, the famous German author, who said, as you begin it, the magic happens. As you begin it, the magic happens. And that's what I'm talking about. The magic starts in your business is when you actually do that. You've made your plan, you've done a lot of planning, and now the magic starts the moment you begin to fulfill that plan. It's going to change a lot. You might even eventually toss that plan out. But that planning process is critical because it's going to give you all those ideas and all this information. But when you sit down and begin it, that's when the feedback comes into you. And that's when you go, these are the things I've got to change. I need to adjust. I need to correct in order to move forward. That's when the clarity comes. That's when the creativity comes. And I can help you with that process. So if this helps a little bit, down below, please give me a share if you would. It's a huge help with the algorithm. Would love you to subscribe if you haven't yet. And join my school. I have the link down below. I have a free school community designed just for people who want to start a business, who need more income, who want bigger, better things for themselves and their families. Have an idea, a concept, or a product that you want to get out of your head and get into the world. So I want to see you there. So remember, planning is critical for any business. A script is a plan for the book or for the movie. A business plan is the script for the way that you want to move forward in a business. And that's really important. But nothing will happen. The magic cannot come to you until you begin the process of doing. So, thanks for being here. Come and join our community, my school community. The link's down below. If you need some help, some coaching, I've got that there as well down below. More information about that. Got a wonderful book on how to start a business called the How-To Planner to Start Your Business. I'm so glad that you saw this. Thank you for letting me share the lightning that came to me the other day, that you've got to move forward. That's where the creativity comes. That's where the clarity comes. I'll see you on the inside.